Townsend Mora. Of course, the experience that counts the most, Teddy, is the fact that Sergio has never lost.
Has not learned the definition or accepted any kind of reality of losing. That can be a powerful asset for somebody who has a 0 at the end of his record.
It is a mentality that can either add unnecessary pressure or supreme confidence, and in Mora's case, it is the latter. Round 1 scheduled for 10. Last 2 fights for Sergio Mora, of course, against Peter Manfredo Jr. He was cut over the left eye both times in the first round. He'd like to avoid that here tonight against Archak.
Well, worse than that is Archak coming off a knockout loss in his last fight. That can be very difficult. This is a mind game, not just physical. Very difficult to overcome, especially early. Sometimes you can jump on a guy. I don't know if Mora has that in his mind, but jump on a guy who's coming off a knockout loss before he gets a chance to get confidence and know in his own mind that he's okay. Archak has lost his last 2 fights.
Sergio Mora, amateur career, included a loss to Jermaine Taylor in the Olympic trials last year. Watching the contender, you know, he talks so much about his dreams and providing for his mother and brothers. Well, he took that $1 million and he bought a house here in Vegas, a new 4-bedroom house that he's very proud of. Hasn't fought in 200 days. Happy to be back in the mix and get back to trying to work his way up the middleweight ranks.
Yeah, Archak been more active, even though he's coming off a knockout loss. 2 months ago, he was in the ring, and as you said, Mora 7 months ago. Right now, you got to like, even though much is not happening, at least Archak keeping distance. He's a tall guy. He's a long guy. He's got the advantages. Usually he gives it up, as he just did a minute ago. Watch his feet. When you're watching a taller guy and you want to see whether or not he's going to fight tall, watch their feet. If their feet fall in, they're going to be short. If they stay anchored on the outside when they punch and they grab a hold of that canvas, then they're going to keep their height and they're going to get to the shorter guy before the shorter guy can get to them. That's what Archak is trying to do now. And I credit his corner that they've come with the right fight plan. We'll see if they can execute it.
There's a good look at the sturdy stance of Archak. You don't see that back right foot falling in quite yet. Of course, you don't see a lot of big right hands being fired off. And after the all-out war we saw between Feliciano and Gomez, the crowd here at the Aladdin being brought out of 5th gear back down to neutral here. Now there is an exchange of right hands, and now on the inside.
Mora got inside where the shorter man you would think would want to be, and maybe the physically stronger man. But he didn't stay there. He came back outside, and he got Archak to cover up. He should have taken advantage of that.
Let's check in with Scott Reese for a sport. The no-mas combo, Ray Leonard and Duran. And what an advantage Mora's had to be around Ray Leonard for the past year, being involved with the contender. The Latin Snake in the red with yellow, trying to maintain his undefeated status. That is not going to help. 3, 4. That was one of the big questions tonight. The first time he has faced pure power.
And so far, Archak is able to give himself a chance to deliver that power because he's punching at the right distance. The thing for Archak, this can hurt him. I know that's going to sound funny. This can hurt him early on, dropping Mora, because he might abandon his fight plan, a fight plan that I think he needs to stay with, as we said in the tips with Sugar Ray, to win this fight. He's starting to give up his height already now, feeling so good about scoring that knockdown. He needs to do what he was doing early, Joe. Stay on the outside and take advantage of Mora, who gives you opportunities to hit him when he comes in. Mora does jump in, doesn't use his jab enough, doesn't work in. He'll jump in with big shots like that. That's where Archak must catch him, pick him off, coming.
So Sergio Mora hits the canvas here in round number 2. Now with his feet underneath him, getting in and out, taking his shots.
See, after that knockdown, you can see already Archak's starting to give up that height. He needs to stay. He already put Mora on the floor, so he figures, let me go to him. Let me put him there again. You got to remember what you came here ready to do and what your advantages were. The advantage of Archak is to stay outside, not inside, and catch Mora as he jumps in. Mora has been the bigger guy. He's fought most of his career at middleweight, and Archak turned pro 146 pounds. All his fights between welter and junior middleweight.
Good left hand sneaking on the inside from Mora, but the shark attack still biting in. And now fighting off the ropes comes Mora with one single shot back to the center of the ring.
See, the thing with Mora, he fights in spurts. If you can handle those spurts, you can have a good night. On the outside, Mora does not really carry rounds with the jab. He used a good jab there and contradicted me. But a lot of times, Mora doesn't use that jab enough to carry those dead spots. With Mora, he's either doing that, jumping in with right hands or left hooks, and he's opening up, usually in flurries.
Lead right hand, and now Mora with a flurry, a right hand from Archak. We'll come back and take a look at the knockdown right after this.
Let's go back to the jab.
The court gift of power. He displayed it in round number 2.
Again, I think it's interesting to note that, yes, Archak scored that knockdown early in the round, but after that I thought he lost a round. And I thought probably part of the reason he lost it, believe it or not, was because of the success of that knockdown. He forgot about staying outside, and he wanted to go in real close after having dropped the man. He needs to stay disciplined with his fight plan. Simply put, the advantage for Archak, the taller man, is to stay outside like he is right now and force Mora, who has a tendency to jump in. Not work his way in, but jump in, leave holes, like he jumped in right there. But Archak did not counter him.
Jumped in right there and then separated with a short right hand and then jumped in again with a combination from the Latin snake.
Now talking about what Mora has to do. Once inside those long arms of the taller Archak, he needs to keep working, not get tied up like he did there. Needs to keep working that body, take what Archak gives him. Archak will cover up when he gets inside. He needs to bang to that body outside the elbows and stay there, not go back outside where he has to take the risk of coming in again. See, that's what
Almost
Archak,
again, Teddy.
Archak has the right idea. Give himself and give his corner credit. Henry Cortez, Mike Rodriguez, and Jose Rosario, give them credit for arming their fighter with a chance to win.
Henry Cortez went as far as to say that Archak